Hi guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is a review of my 2009 Honda CRV diesel. We're going to talk about ownership costs, running costs, and what it's like to live with on a daily basis. So if you're in the market for a mid-size SUV, off-roader, soft-roader, call it what you like, this is where you want to start. Let's get on with it. As you can see, it's a black vehicle with the silver alloys and chrome trim. It's got the privacy glass on the rear windows, and it looks quite smart for what essentially is a mid-sized soft roader, and I'm going to call it a soft roader because it's the same as the Toyota RAV4 and the Vauxhall Mokka. They're soft roaders. You can't compare them to Land Rovers or Toyota Space Cruisers, things that are really good off-road. These will probably do a job in the snow, but that's about it. You probably wouldn't want to go extreme off-roading in them, but that's not what they're all about. They're a good sized family carrier. You know, it's got 5 seats. There's plenty of room. The rear seats fold. I mean, unfortunately they don't go flat in the rear there, which I would have preferred, but there's still plenty of space in the boot. It's not a big car, but it's spacious inside. Let's have a look in the boot. Okay, so we've got the split level parcel shelves there. The middle one is a fixed one, so it's solid. You can take a bit of weight. The one folds away and that folds up, and it still gives you quite a decent sized boot. I mean, I've only put them in because my wife's actually having this car, so I'm sort of saying goodbye to this. My wife borrowed it this weekend to go away and was very impressed with it, so she's decided she wants to keep this car now, and I'm going to have a Mini for the time being. Speaking of which, that'll be the next review on this channel. 2009 Mini Cooper diesel, and it's a John Cooper Works version as well, so it's quite a nice one, but I'll be reviewing that because that'll be going up for sale. Because like you guys, I'm a bit of a petrol head, and as much as this car is very practical, it's great for moving the family around, but it's not exciting. You know, it's not going to set your trousers on fire. It's not going to set any land speed records. It just does what it says on the tin. It works. It carries the people. It carries the people around. It carries the family around. There's lots of room in there. I mean, my lad's 6 foot tall now. He's 15, and he fits perfectly in the back there. There's loads of room. I've just been up to Yorkshire and back in it, and absolutely no issues whatsoever. 3 seats in the back if you need it, and then in the front, 2 decent sized seats. Lots of headroom. I'm 6'2", and there's probably 5 or 6 inches of headroom above me. Got a few cup holders. Like I say, it's not the top of the range spec, so we haven't got the leather, we haven't got the heated leather, we haven't got the reversing camera. I've got some aftermarket parking sensors, which, you know, that they are what they are. They work and they do a job. I've got aircon, which works lovely. And speaking of working lovely, it's a Honda, so as you would expect with a Honda, everything does just work. You know, it's just coming up to 90,000 miles. It's 11 years old, and everything works as it should. It's absolutely superb on that front. It's working really well. On the trip up to Bradford last week, my wife, the average on the trip computer was showing just over 50 miles to a gallon, which on a big 4x4 like this is tremendous. Prior to this, I had a Kia Sorento, or I've had 3 Kia Sorentos to be honest, the 2.5 litre auto diesels, and I was lucky to get 25 out of them. So it's pretty much double the economy out of them. It's obviously a lot more comfortable, not quite as rugged, not quite as big as well, to be fair, but it is a good car. You know, I keep harking back to it does what it says on the tin, but it's a Honda, so everything does just work. Okay guys, let's just get this out on this road. This is a manual gearbox, 6-speed manual. I'd have preferred an automatic. Being a big car like this, I don't see the point in having a manual gearbox. An automatic's so much better in every respect when it comes to these sorts of vehicles, but nevertheless, it's a 6-speed manual. It's quite a nice tight notchy gearbox, not sort of wafty like some vehicles. It actually makes it quite nice to drive. And before we set off, just point out a couple of bits that I like about the car in here. You've got armrests on both seats that fold up and down. I particularly like them. And I noticed yesterday, I was driving around at night, I was coming home from training, and there's a little blue light up here that shines just down on your cup holder. So if you've got a drink on the go at night time, it just illuminates it just enough that you can see where everything is, but without distracting you from driving. It's just a nice little touch, I think. Okay, let's get on the road. Okay, so it's 140 brake diesel, so it's not gonna set the world on fire, but it goes all right. You know, it's with the manual gearbox as well, and obviously the thing with all these diesels is it's quite torquey, and it's quite easy to spin the wheels up, as I just demonstrated, in first and second gear. Quite unintentional, but unfortunately that's the way it goes. It's a bit of a tight junction to get out of there, and once you're on the road, it's all right. It's not offensive in any way. It's just easy. Like I say, I prefer an auto gearbox, but that's the way it is. But this manual gearbox is quite nice. It's quite notchy. I quite like that. I know it's not a sports car, but I quite like it's got a sort of almost feels sporty because it's a notchy gearbox. And yeah, you can float around in third gear around the speed limit. It's not any pressures or strain on the engine. Getting good miles per gallon out of it. It's quite responsive. It's certainly super comfortable. I mean, it's got the 17-inch alloys, but they've got quite a large another drinks holder in both doors, and 2 drinks holders in the middle centre console here. Also in the centre console, I've got a little pocket there just for some change, and then a really quite large storage space in the back here, which you can get a lot of bits and pieces in there. It's also got the aux connection bit, so you can wire your music into your car. Unfortunately, only your music, not the handset either. So I'm going to have to bite the bullet and get a hands-free kit installed for the wife to use. But no, it's not unpleasant. I was doing 60 miles an hour. I'm doing 1800 RPM, and it's easy. If I need to go, it picks up quite nicely. 60 to 70 to 80, like that. It's a good little car. So in essence, what we're talking about running costs. So the road tax on this, it's the £300 a year. So I think I pay about £24 a month, something like that. I do it on the monthly direct debit because I do change my cars a lot. My insurance, I'm 47. I've got maximum no claims bonus and nothing that's going to make that bonus go away or get penalised for. No points, no nothing, no crashes. And this was £220 fully comp with business insurance on there as well. So it's quite reasonable on that side of things as well. Currently looking at my average miles per gallon, and obviously the wife's been on a big trip up to Bradford and back. So she managed to put in all that miles, and when she came back, it was showing just over 50 miles to the gallon average. Now she's been back a couple of days, and I've been using this to do a lot of local driving, and it's come down to 48.3. I say when I use this for work, which is sort of half sort of driving like this on normal regular local roads and a little bit of motorway, between the two of them I've probably it's averaging about 45 miles to a gallon. I mean, I don't drive it hard because what's the point? Like I say, it's not a sports car. It's just a good little family wagon. So yeah, about over 40 miles to a gallon, that's for sure. Which in a car this size is really good. And at the moment it's about 55 quid to fill it up. So it's not too bad. For that 55 pounds, I get between 400 or 500 miles to a tank, depending on what sort of driving I'm doing. So it's nice. It's I say it's very comfortable. Everything works. Would have preferred an auto box, but I think that's 2011, 2012 model. But it is good. So would I recommend you buy one of these? Now, the problem I had when I was looking to buy one of these, and I've looked 3 or 4 times throughout my years, and I've often gone back to Kia Sorento because I like the size, I like the auto gearbox. but they're very expensive to run, and then they're not as well built. They're a little bit agricultural, should we say the least. They're bigger inside, and every time I bought one of them, I've looked at one of these because they're only slightly more money to buy, but I've always thought they were a bit boring, and that's the problem. I thought they were a bit boring, and if the truth be told, yeah, they are a little bit boring, but that's their job, you know. It's a family wagon. It's not designed to set your trousers on fire. It just does what it said on the tin. And since I've owned this, I'm actually really pleased with it. You know, it's a good little car. Unfortunately, I just had to spend 700 quid getting it fixed. Our main tensioner pulley went, and that of course threw the other pulleys out and the alternator as well. So I had to get all those bits changed. But that's just one of those things. It's not an unreliable car. Hondas are known for their reliability, and this is true with this car. So would I recommend you buy one? I think so, yeah, absolutely. If you're in the market for a mid-size SUV type vehicle with plenty of space, plenty of storage, big size boot. It is only 5 seats. There's not a 7-seat option in this year. But if you only need 4 or 5 seats, then yeah, it's good. It's good. Apparently, it's a very good vehicle to tow with. And as I say, 90,000 miles. There isn't much wear and tear shown in the cabin here. The seats are still good. The bolsters are still good on the seats. A few bits of scratches on the plastic, and it is quite plasticky, but it's nice. The dash here, although it's plastic, it's got sort of a carbon fibre type look to it, which is nice. You know, it sort of shows they've made a bit of an effort to make it a bit different from the others. I'd argue the RAV4 is probably a nicer looking vehicle, but only just. But I would also say the Honda's more reliable, so it sort of swings and roundabouts. Obviously, you've got Volkswagen versions and BMW versions, but then you're talking significantly more money. I think 2000, off the top of my head, this is, if you're looking at 2009, an X3 is going to be the best part of 8 or 9 grand. An X5, 10 to 12 grand. The Volkswagen Tiguan and the larger one, they're that sort of money as well. Whereas this owes me about 5 grand. So 5 grand, 90,000 miles. It's got a full and comprehensive service history. Say it's a lower spec, but everything works. So yeah, no, I would recommend you definitely consider one of these. Compared to the alternatives, it's probably the best of the lot. Okay, if you have any comments you want to add to my video, please stick them below, and I'll read them. Any constructive advice, gratefully received. I hope you like the video. It's taken me a little while to do, what with one thing and another, car breaking down and the weather and the wife going away in it. So it's taken me a few attempts to get this going. Any advice, gratefully received. Take care, guys. Drive safely. Be safe.